Egg yolk, what is going on? Viewers of the tube, I would like to first introduce myself as Tyler, but I'm better known as Chico, and you just entered the channel that you hate to love, just like this video clip of a mischievous deer.
You sound like Bug. You sound like my kitty. Bye. Oh God, you're chasing a little girl. No. Oh my God.
You know how we Bambi. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, I'm sure some of you, just like the kid in that clip, are like, what the freak just happened regarding Bitcoin? Bitcoin and the crypto markets have completely fallen off a cliff. Pulling out the BTC price chart since Sunday, it has been ugly to say the least. Almost 1K lost in a matter of 3 days. And I shoot these videos in advance, so it may have gotten worse, it may have gotten better. Now you really want to know what just happened? The whales, they just obliterated a majority of people and increased their own BTC stacks by tricking the public retail traders into an alt season. It's super obvious when you go to CoinGecko and sort by the worst performing coins in the past 7 days. Bitcoin is way down on the list, just over 11% down over the past 7 days. And just scrolling up, altcoins increasing in losses. A significant majority of page one coins, over 85% of the 100 coins, have fallen further than Bitcoin, with BitTorrent, Steem, Siacoin, and Hedera Hashgraph falling the furthest. Two Justin Sun coins, BTT, and now as recently purchased Steem, Houston is the pump and dump master. But the hustle and bustle of a fake alt season, which I said was going to happen weeks ago, is more clearly seen in the Bitcoin dominance chart. Alt season was hot in the middle of February, and Bitcoin dominance was at its low, just under 61%. The chart has the others category, mostly Shatcoins, XRP, Shatcoin, and Ethereum, good altcoin included. As we can see, Bitcoin started growing its dominance, others started losing dominance, and XRP followed others down the drain. Ethereum pretty much stayed stable, losing the least amount of dominance. But what is going to happen to the markets? Are they going to keep tumbling like Tumbleina? What about people's precious Shatcoins, which just recently pumped? Well, zooming out into the macroeconomic space, most people said yesterday crypto was tumbling because traditional finance was tumbling, meaning it was tied to Finance 1.0 and would follow that. Well, what the freak? The Dow Jones pumped early in the morning yesterday, fighting back Monday's losses, yet BTC went down, down, and further down. I thought the two were tied together. Wouldn't a surging stock market be overall good for crypto, just like a dip was bad? Well, you shouldn't be tying Bitcoin to the stock market. You should be tying Bitcoin more closely to gold. And yesterday, it was going down, with headlines like this. Gold prices down, but holding steady in the face of strong US new home sales. Yeah, in that article, they talk smack about gold's short-term outlook, but bring up how great the US housing market is doing. New home sales rose 7.9% last month to a seasonally adjusted annualized rate of 764,000 homes, the U.S. Commerce Department said. According to reports, this is the highest sales rate since July 2007. What came within 6 months of that July 2000 home selling high? The 2008 recession and the popping of the housing bubble. And now we are back at those high numbers, with predatory loans once again putting people in homes who cannot afford them. Back in 2008, they were called subprime mortgages. Now today we have the exact same thing going on, they're just called another name: non-prime mortgages and loans. Why do you think real estate broker jobs are surging since the low in 2012? The number of agents across the US has grown by 50%. Have you noticed all the girls from your high school are either these boss moms peddling a product Ponzi scheme like Thrive?
What that DFT patch is going to do for you is it's going to send your body nutrition throughout the day as your body needs it, and you're done. Within the first 20 to 30 minutes of your day, you are done. You've done your 1, 2, 3 and you're feeling great. Pretty cool.
Or is doing it on a bigger scale and peddling a product Ponzi scheme like Homes in America.
I feel like these are just like the basic but important things that you might need to know if you're thinking of going into the real estate industry.
So don't be scared that BTC is following. It is following gold and not the stock market, which is oh so good to see, because we are not tied to Finance 1.0. That means Finance 1.0 will become tied to DeFi, as the credit crunch is only increasing as time goes on. But what about those silly altcoins? Well, not all are complete garbage. Like I mentioned, DeFi will swallow Finance 1.0 alive, and Bitcoin's DeFi, nothing really there. So I have been zeroing in on Ethereum and altcoins building the future of finance through DeFi. What coin held itself throughout the dump yesterday? That stanky, lanky lank. My linky stays rather stinky! Chainlink. Yes, looking at the USD price yesterday, Chainlink actually pushed up in price, while everything else just crashed and burned, which we can see even clearer by switching to the price in BTC. A major surge, and compared with BTC, Link was up nearly 13%, and compared with Ethereum, nearly 17%. So Link is my #1 hold by a good margin now, and I thank the crypto lords for giving me the strength to dump my Neo over a year ago and put it into Chainlink under 50 cents. I dumped my Neo around $9.50, and it's only $11.22 today. Holding that, I would still be wrecked. But what is going on with Chainlink? Is there something behind this valiant hold of the price? Well, I think so, and it's a trail of breadcrumbs leading back to one of the biggest use cases for smart contracts, legal contracts. So let us begin. Linklaters. Have you ever heard that name before? Well, the name doesn't come from Chainlink. Linklaters was founded in 1838, way before Chainlink, but it does have major ties to them today. So who is Linklaters? It is a multinational law firm headquartered in London and is a member of the magic circle of elite British law firms. They are very, very powerful, I will tell you this. Well, guess who has been looking into the blockchain space, and for some time? Linklaters. Back in August of 2017, in cooperation with the ISDA, the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, they wrote a white paper titled Smart Contracts and Distributed Ledger, a legal perspective. And in the white paper, they specifically mention oracles. While recognizing there is likely to be some need for some subjectivity, certain subjective elements could be replaced by determinations of third-party oracles. Sources already exist for simple pieces of data, but it's possible to have other entities make more complex determinations. A good example of this already exists in the ISDA documentation framework, namely the Credit Derivatives Determinations Committee. So if you don't get what they're talking about, it's what Chainlink has been creating, turning the ISDA's Credit Derivatives Determinations Committee into their own third-party oracle through the Chainlink network. So Linklaters is obviously working with ISDA for legal contracts related to derivatives and swaps. But how is Chainlink connected to Linklaters besides some general speak of oracles in their white paper? Have you ever heard of the Accord project? Well, this was created by the Telos Foundation and is a non-profit collaborative initiative developing an ecosystem and open source tools for smart legal contracts. And if we go to the Accords project's members page and scroll through, no Linklaters, no Chainlink. What? Well, as we can see, it says some of their members. Using Wayback Machine, when they listed everyone, we can see Chainlink is under technology and Linklaters is under law firms, which can be further confirmed for Chainlink by this tweet from the Accord project announcing the partnership and this blog post from Linklaters announcing their partnership with Accord. Connections becoming closer? Well, I hope you're like Oliver Twist.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Because Chico is bringing more. Linklaters just hired someone very special over last summer. From this blog post, they hired Joshua Ashley Klayman. Who is she? Well, she is one of the most connected blockchain lawyers in the space, previously being co-chair of Morrison and Foster's Global Blockchain and Smart Contract Group. But she is also a member of the Wall Street Blockchain Alliance, WSBA, and their profile on her has some very telling things. For one, they highlight her regulatory connections. She has been appointed by the Delaware Secretary of State to serve on Delaware's Blockchain Strategy Committee, founded the Blockchain Legislation Project, and frequently speaks with regulators from around the world regarding blockchain, smart contracts, and cryptocurrency matters. But if we scroll down, we get the really good stuff. She is active in many industry groups, including the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance Legal Working Group, IC3, ISDA Smart Contract Legal Working Group, and the Accord Project. So the EA we know is working with Chainlink. They just were announced with Unibright on the new imminent task force, and they are part of the EA Trusted Compute Working Group, working on the Trusted Compute Framework. Well, Joshy Girl also works with IC3. As we can see, IC3 is a partner of Chainlink. She is also connected to the ISDA. Chainlink put out this blog post last October, solving deep-seated trust problems in derivatives using Chainlink-enabled smart contracts, where they directly mention the ISDA in the ISDA Master Agreement. She is also with Accord, which we already know Chainlink is partnered with. But right here is the blog post you must read, put out just after their derivative one, embedding smart contracts into our legal fabric, which I have included that blog post in the description. Yeah, the legal wave of Chainlink is near, and thus the derivative wave will be coming, as the intersections of smart contracts, smart legal contracts, smart derivative contracts, and derivatives of old is becoming so clear. And now for a sponsored segment of this video being supported by our friends at the Telos Foundation. And like always, the full details of our agreement can be found in the description. So for those who don't know who Telos is, let me break it down for you real quick. They are a fork of EOS, which means that Telos is largely interoperable with EOS in that any EOS dApp could be deployed on Telos, needing no code changes. But where EOS failed on governance, Telos is the shining star, fixing the broken block producer elections by whale manipulation and building all the parts of EOS that were promised but left out: worker proposals, governance ratification, and even arbitration. So what does that mean? Well, the EOS IO code is actually pretty damn good. Dan Larimer is no dummy. It's the governance that is broken. And with Block 1 and many corrupt VCs in control, it's a community of dApps that will suffer. That is why Telos is experiencing a recent explosion in their ecosystem of dApps. Telos, they offer what EOS can't. Features like the Telos Decide Governance Engine, or Telos Sentiment Tokens, which are the blockchain token equivalent to likes or dislikes, thumbs up or thumbs down, and even to trust or not trust something. A great example of the dApp flow to Telos, just last week, Murmur, who was originally building on EOS, but due to their issues announced they would be moving their microblogging social network dApp over to Telos, with a go live next month. Then there's New Life, which already has an application live on the Apple and Google stores. This is a Tumblr style social app for the art and fashion industries that will reward users for their help in discovering new trends and tastes. Then New Life sells that anonymous data to companies looking to get an early look at cutting edge trends. The app already has 20K users, averaging 70,000 sessions per month. And they just announced a partnership with Telos, and they would be rewarding the app users with Telos tokens, not their own. Current estimations between the number of users and sessions would mean that the New Life app, when it goes live, will be putting 1.1 million transactions per month on the Telos network. So this is a significant app. But storage, especially in a decentralized manner, is critical for dApps to stay true to their decentralized roots. And Telos is getting that done through dStore. This is Telos' own decentralized storage solution, and it's a unique implementation of IPFS that runs on the Telos blockchain and is the only scalable implementation of decentralized storage currently available, built with an economic model that benefits both the users and node operators. And the beta of dStore just launched, and the first dApp to use it? Cubicles, a dApp for balancing out work call centers. Call centers, they often have boom and bust cycles where they suddenly need more workers or else have too many and no work to do. Cubicles uses tokens on the Telos chain to manage this all for the call centers. Those are just a few of the dApps. There is also a ton of Telos dApps that are being funded in part by the Telos chain through worker proposals and more. So Telos is really becoming a mini blockchain incubator or accelerator. You have Wordproof, Havuta, Kuduro, and Zeptagram dApps that are all being funded partly by the chain. Do you see this happening on any other EOS chain? I didn't think so. The final thing I would like to get into today is regarding this disgusting form of a human being, Justin Sun. As we know, 2 of his coins were the 2 worst performers, including Steem, which is being drugged down by Justin himself. Well, guess what? The Steem community is fighting back, and they pulled off a soft fork, eliminating the voting rights of the pre-mined coins that Justin Sun is now in control of with his purchase of Steem Inc. Essentially, this means that Steem Inc. and the Tron Foundation still own the coins, but they cannot vote with them, which is actually quite ingenious, since now the Steem blockchain cannot be changed without the consent of the community, and therefore Steem cannot be forced to go onto the Tron network if the community does not agree with such a move. Did Justin just waste a ton of money? He will not be able to force things like he planned to do, because Steem was somewhat decentralized before he purchased it. Stupid. Justin might just have to resort to shaking his booty with CZ to get some dollar bills.
Oh, what? CZ, get your booty on the floor tonight.
Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.